Hey there, Bison Nation. It's good to have you back. I'm Ethan Birnbaum, and I'll be reporting on some of the latest news around campus and in our local area tonight. With the end of the year approaching fast, we're in the final stretch of our weekly newscasts, so make sure to stick around until the end so you don't miss out on anything. I'll catch you back after this quick break. Thanks for sticking around. A story of brilliance, denial, and loss, the Pulitzer Prize award-winning play, Proof, is being performed this weekend at NDSU's Walsh Studio Theater. The drama follows Catherine, the daughter of a renowned mathematician, through the struggles that come with her father's untimely death. Left alone, she's forced to confront his life's work and make sense of it all in an attempt to uncover truths about the father she believes is mad. Tickets are free for all NDSU students and are available for reservation at ndsu.showware.com. This is the second and final week of the production showing, so don't miss your opportunity to see NDSU's talented actors put on an amazing performance. Show dates and times can be found online. Just search NDSU Proof for more information. Up next, the athletics department has just announced some great news pertaining to NDSU athletes. The Director of Athletics, Matt Larson, announced on April 18th that all NDSU athletes will have the opportunity to earn the Graduation Champions Award, a new scholarship. Their ability to earn the Champions Award isn't affected by prior scholarship or walk-on status. Annual amounts paid out through this scholarship are currently funded by an endowment and several private donors. Payments to students will range from anywhere between $3,000 and $5,980. Amounts paid will be determined by academic performance each semester, as well as cumulative GPA. In an interview, Larson cited one motive behind the change. Quote, "The success was a primary motivating factor for our donors to not only support and reward the academic success of our student athletes, but also incentivize both retention and graduation at NDSU. With this new reward system in place, academically inclined NDSU athletes will be sitting pretty in the coming future." In local news, Minnesota uncovered the most interesting thing the state has produced in years this Monday. The demolition of a Minnesota high school revealed a time capsule sealed and buried below the remains of the public institution. The demolition crew that found it passed it over to Owatonna High School staff, and the tube was identified as being over 100 years old. It was then opened in front of a gathering of the local community. Inside, Minnesotan residents were ecstatic to find financial statements, rosters of city organizations, newspapers, and coins, all in a well-preserved condition. The contents of the capsule were passed off to Steele County Historical Society, where they will be preserved and eventually displayed within the school's museum. Earlier this month as well, firefighters from the Fargo Fire Department took their title of first responders to a new level after their fire truck was sideswiped by a motorcyclist and resulted in a crash. The driver of the fire truck became the third member of the department to have an accident while on their way to the scene of a structure fire. In an interview with Valley News Live, Fargo Fire Chief Steve Dirksen explained that the driver was, quote, "shaken up quite a bit. You never want to be the responder and be part of an accident." Upon being sideswiped, the crew within the fire truck did everything they could to ensure the motorcyclist, who was wearing a helmet at the time, had been patched up. The motorcyclist was then taken to the hospital, and as of Tuesday, he is no longer within their care. The speculation surrounding a TikTok ban has just turned into a reality. Legislation was passed by Congress, gave ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, an ultimatum: sell their company to the U.S. or face a nationwide ban within less than a year. The purported ban, which won't occur before the 2024 election, gives ByteDance 9 months to sell their company, with a 3-month extension only approved by the president if, quote, he certifies that there's a path to divestiture and significant progress towards executing it. Since the legislation passed, TikTok has given no indication that it will consider selling its company, promising to challenge the new law in court. The imagined consequences to the ban will be both political and economic in nature. Republicans believe that TikTok will be a vital campaigning tool for the Democrats in the upcoming 2024 election, giving reason for why the ban would occur only after September. Legislatures in opposition to the ban cite the devastation for content creators and their platforms are things that they've heavily considered in their decision. Overall, at this point, the decision can't be stopped. The wheels are turning for TikTok, and they'll either miss the train or jump aboard. And finally, lastly in national news, earlier this month, Ukraine stuck it to Russia after long-range ATACMS missiles were utilized against their enemy for the first time. These powerful long-range ballistic missiles were secretly provided by the U.S. military as part of a $300 million military aid package that was announced in March of this year. A national security spokesperson cited their secrecy as being a matter of operational security, given the strength and consequence of the weapons. The missiles, which have a range of nearly 200 miles, were used in two separate strikes inside the Crimean border, where they assaulted a Russian military airfield and Russian forces east of a Ukrainian town. Over the last 2 years, the Biden administration has resisted sending long-range missiles to Ukraine for fear of their use escalating the conflict with Vladimir Putin. However, continual use of long-range missiles on Russia's end and the targeting of Ukrainian power grids has caused the White House to make the decision that Ukraine deserves the same capabilities. After the arrival of another $61 billion aid package for Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the weapons will give the country a chance at victory as it defends itself from Russia. That's all we've got for stories on this week's newscast. After the break, we'll turn over to Vinny, who will be covering the latest in sports. Stay tuned.
Kid deserves to go hungry, but try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today, so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
My name is Becky Parker, and I'm a news anchor at WDAY-TV. I graduated from NDSU in 2010 with a degree in journalism, broadcasting, and mass communication technologies, and then I had an emphasis on broadcasting. Principles of broadcast production and advanced broadcast production. Those were favorites because they were the most relevant for career experience. You're calling people for interviews, you're writing an article. It doesn't just feel like an assignment, it's like actually doing it. I was the news director for the first full semester of the Bison Information Network. The BIN advisor here was very much invested in me to actually have a career in broadcasting. He helped me get my internship and my first job. The people in NDSU's Department of Communication are really interested and helpful in getting students the connections that they need in order to get a job beyond school.
The NDSU Bookstore, where every true fan and alum goes to get their pride on. Gear up with a variety of high-quality t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and more. Made by top-of-the-line brands like Under Armour, Nike, and CI Sport to help you show off your Bison pride. The NDSU Bookstore has everything you need in your 2 favorite colors, green and gold.
Welcome back, Bison Nation. Let's get right into the sports report. My name is Vinny Anderson, and we'll start off the night with the baseball team as they hosted Oral Roberts for a doubleheader on Saturday. The home stretch started off rough as the Bison dropped the first game, losing 3-10. They had a great bounce-back game, beating Oral Roberts 7-6. To finish out the series, the Bison won the rubber match 5-4. And then they also hosted Mayville State and beat them 13-3 through 7 innings. The Bison will be hosting Omaha this Friday at 6:30 p.m. You can attend the game or watch it on Summit League Network. If you are on the road, you can listen to it on Bison 1660. Speaking of teams on the road, the Bison softball team traveled to UND to hopefully turn around their 5-game losing streak. But the struggles continued as UND brought out the broom and swept the Bison. The first game was a close one, but the bats were going. Although the Bison lost 4-5, then lost 0-1, and lastly got shut out again, losing 0-4. The Bison will look to snap the 8-game losing streak when they host Kansas City for the weekend. These games will be on Saturday at noon. All 3 games will be streamed live on Summit League Network, or you can watch it live and support your Bison. Switching over to the green, as we also travel to Ohio as the men's golf team closes out the regular season. The Bison wrapped up the tournament at plus 53, placing them at 16th place. The Bison were led by Nate Adams, which carted the team high for 4 birdies, placing them at 27th at plus 9. Coming in second for the Bison was Ian Simonich. He finished strong with 3 birdies of the last 4 holes. He finished with a plus 18 and tied for 85th place. Next up for the men's team is the Summit League Championship, taking place in Indiana from April 28th to the 30th. Turning over to the team that just finished up their Summit League Championship was the women's golf team, as they placed 6 out of 8. The Bison struggled as Denver took the top spot, along with Oral Roberts behind them, and lastly St. Thomas and NDSU tied for 3rd place. The Bison had Maddie Hicks leading the way for the team as she recorded a plus 3 on a par 72 with 2 birdies, placing her in 14th place. Behind her was Nora Roberts, with the Bison finishing with a plus 3 and 3 birdies to finish in 16th. That will be the end of women's golf for the season and will also be the last thing for our sports report. Turning over to the weather, Henry will fill you in. Henry, take it away.
Hello, NDSU. As always, I'm Henry Raddock. Today it is mostly cloudy with a temperature of 67 degrees with a 22 degree dew point. Humidity is at 18, and winds are coming from the southwest at 5 miles an hour. Going to our hour by hour, it's going to get colder, but not too cold throughout the night. The coldest it's going to get is at 6 a.m. when it's going to be 47. So not as cold as this winter, but still a little chilly. Overcast skies going to partly cloudy to clear by 3 a.m. and then by 6 a.m. it's going to be back to be mostly cloudy. Going to our skycast, we had a total of 14 hours and 6 minutes of sunlight. Sunrise is at 8:22 a.m. and sunset will be at 8:28 p.m. tonight. Going to our mooncast, we have a waning gibbous. Our full moon was April 23rd, yesterday, and our 3rd quarter will be on May 1st, next Wednesday. Moving to today's almanac. Today's temps had a high of 67 and a low of 28. Average temps in the state of the past were a high of 59, a low of 35. Record temps were a high of 87 in 1990 and a low of 18 in 2021. Moving to our national temperatures, as you can see here, it is really warming up from last week. Last week we had kind of cold on both sides of us. Now it's just warm. It's warm. It's kind of like a warm front coming in from this side, sorry. A lot of cold spots being in mostly this part of the country, and then as always, the south, southwest, southeast, pretty warm. And strangely enough, California, not on fire right now. It's pretty odd, but it's where we are right now. Going to our rain, in the next 48 hours, we're expecting at least an inch of rain. As you can see here, an inch of rain. There's also got to be a lot of rains coming through the Great Plains and kind of up in the Appalachians, mostly into the south. But then again, most of the rain's coming in those plains area, and we are just getting a little bit of it. Moving to the 7-day forecast, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at 71 tomorrow. Better break out those shorts with a low of 47, 60, 51, and 46. Sunday, it's going to be pretty chilly with lots of rain. 48, 45, and 40 for your lows. Moving to the rest of our 7-day forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to warm up slowly. Monday at 52, Tuesday at 68, and Wednesday at 78. with lows remaining in those 40s and even dipping into the 30s on Tuesday. But thankfully, we got some partially cloudy skies. And our national days, it's National Bucket List Day, National Pigs in a Blanket Day, and National Stop Food Waste Day. Some very interesting days. I'm going to cross off some bucket list things tonight. Famous birthdays today: Kelly Clarkson, Phil Robertson, Chipper Jones, and of course, Joe Keery. Well, that's all I have for you, NDSU. Have a great day out there. Stay warm. Well, not warm. Stay cool. That's what I meant to say. Stay cool, stay dry, and as always, roll herd.